What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be installing the carbon fiber lip spoiler in the back. As you can see, the original one is peeling really bad, so I figured instead of just painting it, why not just go ahead and replace it with the carbon fiber spoiler to match the Thompson diffuser in the back. So let's go ahead and show you guys how to remove it. We have to take the clips here, and once we remove that, there's going to be 10mm screws holding the spoiler. Take that off, and there's going to be also double-sided tape. We have to remove the double-sided tape and go ahead and remove it. So what I just did here, instead of using the flathead screwdriver, I just basically held it right here and pried it out, and it came right out without damaging the clip, as you can see. So that works as well. But if you are scared and do not want to break it, or scared to break it, just go ahead and use a flathead screwdriver right here at this point, by inserting it right here and just pry it down. Alright, so we went ahead and took out all the clips already, as you see here. And before you remove the lining, as you see here, it's gonna be hanging because of the emergency switch here for in case somebody gets stuck in the trunk. So you want to take the little cap off, very easily removable from here, from the top. Once you take that off, you're not going to be able to take off the lining unless you take this off. So how do you take it off? You see there the cable that's attached to it. So what you want to do is remove the cable from there, and then by pressing on this clip right here, as you see right here, it releases the cable. So let me show you guys. Let me see if I can do it with one hand. It's hard to do with one hand, but let me try it. As you see, there you go. You see? And that's the cable right there holding it. Alright, so let's go ahead and remove that and get to the screws now. So this is how the shell of the trunk looks. So you see, you have one screw there, 10mm, and then the other one is right there on the other side. So we have to remove those. Make sure you have an extension and a 10mm socket to get in there. Once you take those off, there's gonna be double-sided tape all across the trunk, so you want to remove that as well. And my technique is basically heating it up with a heat gun, so the glue, and get a plastic screwdriver and just start prying it out so you can take it off. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright guys, so here we have the 10mm screw. Sorry for the background noise. This is what you want to use to remove the screw from here. So let's go ahead and remove those, and I'll show you guys what they look like as soon as they're removed. Alright guys, so very important, when you take off the screw, before you remove it completely, you're gonna see that if it falls down, there's really no way to get it out of there. So what you want to do is make sure that you have a magnet to hold the screw in place, well, the bolt. So when you remove it, you'll be able to just capture it with the magnifier instead of having it fall in there, and then obviously you'll have to get a new one and put it in there. So make sure one of the other preference tools to remove it is the magnet that you see here as shown, and it fully extends as well to any of the sizes that you really want to use it. So yeah, so go ahead and make sure you have this if you're going to be replacing your spoiler. So basically what I did was that I loosened it up all the way to the tip of the actual bolt. And once I went ahead and removed the socket from it, I entered the magnet into the bolt to remove it. So once you take it off, as you can see here, there you go. You see, the bolt is removed from there, and that's what you want. Same step here. Make sure you remove the other one before you go ahead and start prying out the factory spoiler. All right, guys, another quick update. So I couldn't find my plastic tool to be able to remove the spoiler. So what I did was that I used this painter's tape and put some painter's tape on the tip of the end of the flathead screwdriver, and I went ahead as well and put some double-sided tape as well there. So as you can see, the spoiler is almost removed from this corner. So what you want to do is make sure you insert the, as you can see how it's picking up already, so you can use that as well to remove the spoiler. But just make sure that you don't damage your paint. This is a way that I'm basically going to use to take it off. So I'm not responsible for any damages you cause to your car, so make sure that you use the proper tools in order to remove it. So every section of the trunk, you want to make sure you apply double-sided tape here. Put about 3 to 4 layers. All right, so the glue is already off the panel here of the trunk. So once you remove it, that's how it comes off. These are the guidance clips that utilizes in order for you to put them in the trunk. So let's go ahead and clean the surface up real quick, and I'll show you guys the carbon fiber one that's going on the car. All right, guys, so before you start removing the double-sided tape, I went ahead and you just used the napkin with warm water to clean out all the debris around here. And I'm going to be using the Meguiar's polish here with the microfiber cloth to just continue all around the spoiler to take it off and remove it. Once I was able to go ahead and pry both corners, slightly and gently with your fingertips, start pulling it up, as you see here. And once you have that off, you can go ahead and remove the spoiler. These are basically our guidance for the factory spoiler. So when they mount it at the facility, when they first made the trunks, these are basically not holes, for the exception of these right here on each corner, as you can see. So nothing's gonna happen once we remove this double-sided tape. We're gonna go ahead and apply the carbon fiber spoiler right over this one. So let's go ahead and remove this. And for this method, we're gonna be using a 3M, I believe it's turtle wax that makes the compound, in order to remove this, and let it sit there for about 2 or 3 minutes, and I'll go ahead and show you guys what that is. All right, so this is the turtle wax label and sticker remover that we're going to be using to apply on the trunk here. And let me go ahead and show you the carbon fiber spoiler. As you can see, this one I got it off eBay, and once I put it on the trunk, I'll show you guys how it looks. But the carbon fiber weave looks perfect, and it matches the Tom's Authentic diffuser in the back. So let's go ahead and this is the 3M that we're going to be using as well to put it under the spoiler. And yeah, so let's go ahead and remove it so we can apply. So nothing is going to happen to the paint. This is basically a label and sticker removal that they use on automotives. Nothing is going to happen to the clear as well, to the car. So you can just go ahead and apply it across. And let it sit there for a few minutes. All right, so let's wait a few minutes and we'll go ahead and remove it. All right, so there's progress. As you see, I went ahead and removed basically everything away from this corner of the trunk. I'm still working my way this way towards the left side of the car. And yeah, it's not an easy process, but you got to be very careful. You don't want to go ahead and scratch the paint off your vehicle. So make sure that you take your time, and I'll say about two hours max between the uninstall and the installation of the new spoiler, if you're careful. So let's go ahead and finish up removing the double-sided tape. And just one thing, you don't want to apply just one coat and that's it, because once it dries up, what it does, it makes the upper portion of the glue a little bit kind of like gooey. So once you remove that, then you have to reapply it again to remove the second layer, and then the third layer, which is the final one. and that's what you're gonna get here. So all these little marks here that you see is still 3M double-sided tape. So what I'm gonna be doing is buffing that out with the 3M compound and the polisher, and once we get the surface very smooth, we're gonna go ahead and use alcohol to remove all the wax and reapply the new spoiler onto the trunk. All right, so what I'm doing here is basically making sure that the same gap from this side is going to be the same as the other side. So what I'm doing here is applying the double side, the painter's tape on each corner. It goes in the same pattern and no gaps between the spoiler and the trunk. So that's gonna be a very helpful thing, so we can go ahead and make sure that we don't have any issues with the fitment after we remove the 3M tape. All right guys, so as you see, the 3M double-sided tape is applied right across the spoiler. So let's go ahead and start peeling the 3M tape and applying it to the trunk. As you see, these are my mounting points right here, as well as right here and right here in the middle as well. So let's go ahead and mount it, and I'll show you guys the final results. All right guys, there it is. It's already mounted. Perfect on all ends. As you see, there's no gaps here. Perfect. So make sure that when you're applying the spoiler, to make sure to use the painter's tape to give you a guidance. So when you remove the 3M double-sided tape, you have no issues. So right now what we're gonna do, since the sun is out, I'm gonna apply double-sided tape, painter's tape over this so I can hold it a little bit better for a couple hours, or let it sit overnight so we can go ahead and remove it. All right, appreciate you guys watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we will be posting more videos on the ISF and other installations to come in the future. All right guys, thanks.